in the world are we not hearing from people that Shedeur is really good?
In 2 days, I've had multiple people that are players reach out and say people inside the locker room feel like Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback.
He is aware that he has been caught in a lie. Why would someone tell a lie that could be readily verified? For the duration of his broadcasting career, Anthony Lima has been lying. He got his money that way. Shedeur Sanders is attempting to get his clicks off now that he is involved in the Browns' trash fire, but it turns out to be a lie right away. Let's listen to Big Tony.
If DePodesta's gone, if there's going to be a power struggle, if guys are going to start heading for the hills, right? If all that was going on behind the scenes in an irrelevant season in which they're not going to win games, how in the world are we not hearing from people that Shedeur is really good and the Browns are botching
I don't know.
Wouldn't we be hearing that from somebody?
I think you would.
Defense, too.
Well, wait a minute. What about Mary Kay? Doesn't Mary Kay say he's good every time he comes?
I simply wanted to let you know that Kim Carmen deserves a shout-out. I believe Kim Carmen to be a decent person. And 20 seconds into it, there is evidence that just refutes what he is saying. Additionally, you can take a peek at this Dog, look at his face. He must change it now since he is aware that he has been caught lying. Anthony Lima is a grumpy person. Isn't that right? The cogs are turning. The goalpost needs to be moved. Additionally, he moves the goalpost quite.
Yeah, but she also says Deshaun Watson is making big strides and is going to be ready.
Are they both making big strides?
I am not hearing
Wait a minute.
that the Browns are making some egregious mistake by playing the guy that has some of the worst numbers in the NFL and has some of the laugh out loud, hilarious low light moments that we've seen at the early stages of a football career. I am not hearing that they're playing the wrong guy. Haven't heard it. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it leaked. Haven't heard anybody on a podcast. These guys all have a way to get their message out. If it was so obvious, Albert Breer and Zach Jackson always say the same thing. Hold on, listen to me for a second. Stop looking for a cut sheet and listen to me. I have not heard, wouldn't you think, that the guys that say you can't lie to a locker room, you cannot trot out the wrong guy because a locker room will revolt. Where's the revolt? Where is it? Guys are still playing hard last week. Guys are almost playing too hard where they're jumping off side.
Guys, thus once more, this is what people with mashed potato brains possess. These folks make a living by eating crayons. These are the ways of thinking. People are performing really well. The head coach on the sidelines is yelling at them not to jump offside since they jump on a clear fourth down, since the locker room is so favorable to Dillon Gabriel. Yes, once more, it makes sense to those who prefer orange crayons.
Where is it? Where's the give up that, oh my God, there's going to be a mutiny in the locker room, in the building because they're playing the wrong guy? Because it doesn't seem like anybody thinks they're playing the wrong guy. It just doesn't seem that way. And the guy we're seeing is horrible. The guy we're seeing is getting humiliated day in and day out on social media. Almost to a cruel level.
But let me tell you this. If that's the case, then I can't do another one of these things. If this is the way it is, then I don't care. Put Bailey Zappi in there. Fine. If Shedeur is not ready, I can't stomach another week of this. You can't. Well, he's in there before he's ready to play. Clearly, he's in there before he was ready to play. I was wrong. I thought that they were at the end of it with Joe Flacco. The offense sucks. The players around him, I think they try. I don't think that it's the right type of players around him anymore. Some of them have gotten too old. Some of them, it just doesn't matter. That's an Andrew Berry thing now. You got rid of Joe Flacco, so it's not like you can put Joe back out there and then maybe give Dillon Gabriel a breather. So if you don't want to go directly to Shedeur, fine. Put Bailey Zappi out there and give Dillon a breather. Because this is bad. There is such a thing as, well, you're going to give him all this time. There's such a thing as, you want to talk about ruining a guy, you could ruin his experience. You could ruin his play.
You should now shout out to King Clement. The only thing that bothers me is that you let your co-host get away with a blatant falsehood. After that, he responds to this, and we will review Anthony Lima's Twitter history since he believes he is slick. He has been tweeting the same thing for some time, attempting to, just hurl it at the wall until it sticks. When asked if a player or anyone in the building has informed Mary Kay Cabot, now of 92.3, the fan, that Shedeur ought to be playing quarterback for the Browns right now, she replied, no, because everyone knows. Mary Kay Cabot says, well, look, I think Mary Kay Cabot says some truthful things, right? However, Mary Kay Cabot also represents the Browns as a propagandist. The day before the Browns announced that Dillon Gabriel would start, she was the one who leaked the information. Thus, for as much as I can assure you that Mary Kay Cabot is being honest for the Shedeur. She's telling the truth, especially about the Browns, but that doesn't mean that no one believes that Shedeur is superior or shouldn't be playing. Since Baker May is one of the most well-known and despised media figures, why would anyone tell Mary Kay Cabot once more? Mashed potato brains, crayon eaters, and now Anthony Lima. We're going to slow it down for you. You understand what I mean when I say that we're going to do it very slowly. Now, someone you know who has a half-decent sort of brain points out, I wonder if any of the players think Dillon Gabriel should be starting either, Mr. Bionic Sal said. In the locker room, trading Joe Flacco was probably a far bigger deal than most people understand. Thus, at this point, all of this is merely conjecture. However, this is what takes place. He wants to know what's happening. How come there aren't any leaks? Someone says, hey, this is actually Denzel Ward saying these things, saying Denzel Ward is ready. Can you guess what Anthony Lima says in June? You keep shifting the goalpost, I see. All right. I have 3 of Garrett Bush's videos here, nor some little guy, nor some tiny guy. No. From the Ultimate Cleveland Browns podcast, he will promptly refute those falsehoods and demonstrate that Anthony Lima either lacks intelligence or is lying blatantly in an attempt to stir up controversy and gain his moment in the spotlight. Let's listen.
Yeah, I gotta just stand. Do I gotta do backflips off this table?
Yes.
Because I done told you multiple times on this show.
Yes.
I said my phone went off the hook last week. I don't even know these folks. They're like, listen, we tired of seeing this. We're tired.
Players?
Yes.
Okay.
We're tired. And by the way, I keep trying to, these ain't no special teamers. You do the math. It ain't special teams dudes running down on kickoff.
I hear you. So, yeah, I don't.
So here's the thing. The reality of the situation is, it ain't up to the players to decide who it is. The decision is on Kevin Stefanski to play the guy who gives you an opportunity to do something. And we've obviously seen that he's not the dude. We've seen it. But we have to sit here and pretend. Why are we pretending?
Are we?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. There's a very evident thing there. And, it says something about Dillon Gabriel. Several people who
I consistently say, there are veterans on this team that are excited to see Shedeur Sanders play. And they feel like Myles Garrett says, I see him in the coach's office all the time.
Yes, Myles Garrett claims to arrive early. When asked about it, Denzel Ward frequently says the same things. And since we've seen the tapes, we are aware of this. What about another video, G?
I've had multiple people that are players reach out and say people inside the locker room feel like Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback. These are players, and this not regular dudes. This not like the backup rundown kicker. Now, there's a difference between what the front office say and the coaching staff say and what players say. But I do know for a fact, according to these individuals, that there are people who are not only excited about to see if he could play, but thought he should be getting more opportunity when he showed what he could do during the preseason.
Whoa. Man. It's difficult, huh? It's almost as if you could have conducted a quick Google search and discovered information that immediately contradicted what you stated. That is absurd. Additionally, because I received the tweets here, I wanted to sort of highlight a few points. I want everyone to know how long this has been going on. First of all, we have already refuted this, correct? Keep in mind that this washes your door. Sanders was reportedly one of the top 5 prospects. This was Mr. or something, according to Zach Jackson, the East-West Shrine Bowl coordinator or something. Hey, the Shedeur appeared there. He didn't play at the East-West Shrine Bowl, despite everyone's expectations. He failed to put on his pads. Subsequently, the real East-West Shrine Bowl coordinator emerged and stated that this was a provable fabrication. claimed to genuinely adore Shedeur Sanders and to be grateful for what he accomplished. Came out and genuinely defended Shedeur Sanders when those leaks were made public and he was being disparaged. Anthony Lima, dang, it's you. You appear to be a pathological liar. That is awful. That is awful. How can you be trusted by Cleveland Browns supporters or members of the team's media? How long have you worked in the media? How many years has it been? In that time, what have you accomplished? We received several nominations for Emmys. The fact that you can finally speak with Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion, is your greatest accomplishment. The fact that the lies are revealed is what I mean. You are always searching for Shedeur Sanders' flaws. You're saying that the 5'8" cornerback who was selected in the 4th and 5th rounds has no flaws? The same cornerback that your team contacted? Maybe that's the reason you're so angry. Maybe you're unhappy because it was so foolish. You have 2 cornerbacks instead of a cornerback, a lineman, a linebacker, or anything else that would help your squad. Hey, I would also feel pretty angry. I would be quite enraged. I would be pathologically lying because I'm so angry. But Anthony Lima's story doesn't end there. August 1st. I don't think people fully realize how difficult it will be for Shedeur Sanders to perform well enough to move from being a 4th-string cornerback in the 5th round to persuading the Browns not to select a cornerback in the 1st round the following year. Canola oil. Holy. Anthony Lima and Anthony Lima are at odds. Whoa. Remember how you tweeted this a few months ago? The exact same thing you're saying right now. Why haven't people contacted us? Is he really that talented? Is he not that talented? Is he superior to that? What? What if this was commented on by a guy? Did you know that he was selected in the 5th round? Were you aware that he was a 4th string? How difficult, almost impossible would it be for a 4th string cornerback selected in the 5th round to persuade the Browns that he is the right fit? Anthony Lima. Respond to your own question. Proceed. Oh. Was the question merely a grift? You were pleased to receive a few likes? That's really interesting. So you have not just been caught lying on multiple occasions. This is untrue. You just spoke a falsehood. I debunked it with 3 distinct films on Dylan Gabriel from 3 separate eras: preseason, postseason, and more recently. What more is required? It doesn't imply that you won't quit lying, does it? And once again, on October 29th, you typically have leaks from the club when a well-liked rookie prospect doesn't play to launch a career. Yada yada. I've had enough. I'm sorry, Dylan. We've been Wally-piped, I guess. Shedeur Deion Sanders is the new 3rd stringer in town. August 8. All I can say is that I feel like I'm traveling back in time since I begun to notice something. From vintage Anthony Lima, I saw a slight pattern. Why did he include Shedeur Deion Sanders? I wondered. Why? Why am I going into fusion time on November 3rd, 2025? Why does Anthony Lima mock and make fun of Deion Sanders' struggles at Colorado? Well, why? Why would a Browns supporter mock and make fun of Deion Sanders' struggles?